Why don't we jump right into our headline topic, which is, of course, the ad that Apple released for the new iPad. Let's get through what the new iPad is. Apple officially launched their new M4 chip. Surprising, anyone who doesn't pay attention to leaks, there was some speculation earlier this week that Twitter's AI news summary feature may have access to scheduled tweets because of how accurate its summary of the upcoming Apple event was. I don't think that that's been confirmed. I don't think that that's necessarily gone anywhere. I haven't followed it up, so maybe it did, but I saw that. I thought it was pretty funny. Anyway, the new M4 chip is broadly similar to the M3, but has an additional 2 efficiency cores and a 20% increase in memory bandwidth. Apple is also claiming a more powerful neural engine, and that's where some of the speculation about why we're getting an M4 chip before they've even seemingly finished rolling out the M3 family. Anyone else notice that the Mac Studio still has an M2 series chip in it? Are Mac users, and by Mac users, I don't mean Apple users, I mean specifically Mac, not MacBook. Are Mac users feeling like Apple straight up doesn't care about you at all? Every single time they come back and they're like, no, we hear you. You matter to us. Here's a new Mac Pro with upgradable memory and upgradable GPU. By the way, we're never going to rev this again, and bye-bye. Oh, wait, no, we haven't forgot about you. Here's a Mac Pro that uses Apple Silicon. By the way, none of the upgrades and stuff are there, and it's like way more expensive for reasons we can't fully explain. Also, we're just not gonna revise it. You're gonna be on M2 Silicon forever, and then our other products, literally the iPad, is gonna get M4 before you guys get M3. It's kind of mind blowing at this point. Anyway, the more powerful neural engine is fueling speculation that Apple has accelerated their plans for M4 with all this AI in the news, and to make sure that their stock price doesn't go down because they don't have enough AI. Honestly, I kind of doubt it. Realistically, Apple is at a level where people do not invest in Apple for AI. People invest in Apple because they have a very, very beautiful, wonderful balance sheet on a quarterly basis. Anywho, benchmarks from Geekbench show the M4 easily beating Intel's Core i9-14900KS in terms of single-core performance. Of course, we've talked about this a fair bit in the past. Geekbench is not the be-all and end-all of performance. It's just convenient to run because it happens to be cross-platform. And the chip is launching in the first iPad to feature ray tracing and hardware-accelerated mesh shading. Man, if only they would let you run macOS on it. It would be like kind of the best macOS machine with a little folio. Apple also announced the new M2 powered iPad Air, which is actually slightly thicker than the iPad Pro. The iPad Pro is crazy thin, and that's where some of the marketing hubbub has come from. It is.
If you're going to call it Air and have it be the thicker version, that is weird.
Look.
It's cool that the Pro is so thin. I'm just saying.
Look, Luke, this is the company what brung you Mac Pro, Mac Pro, Mac Pro, all of which are completely different products with completely different characteristics. They don't, the trash can one doesn't even look the same as the other ones. This is also the company what brung you, I'm trying to think. I was going somewhere with this, but Ultra Max. Pro Ultra. I don't even remember. Literally, their most important product line has gotten bloated to the point where it's kind of a mess. The iPhone used to be simple. It used to be, here's the new iPhone. Oh, by the way, you can still buy the old iPhone and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Then we got, I'm trying to think of the exact order that things happened. Then we got the SE.
Was first? Oh, no, yeah.
And the SE kind of made sense. It was clearly separated from the rest of the product line. It didn't have the same premium feel, unapologetically plastic. But kind of made sense. And then things just got completely off the rails because now we've got Pros, we've got Pro Maxes, we've got
X is where it really went off the rails for me. Personally.
Sorry, X?
iPhone X? iPhone
What?
10?
Oh, the iPhone 10, right.
It's just like, that was where they really lost me.
Yeah, so
I'm excited. While we're talking about naming stuff, I'm going to allude to something I want to talk about later. I don't want to talk about it now, though. But yeah, like what the heck are they going to call the new Switch?
Oh, well,
because a lot of news articles are saying Switch 2, but all they said is the
Nintendo
successor to the Switch.
There's no way Nintendo calls it Switch 2.
We'll get into that later.
All right, fine. Make a note in the Luke section then.
Okay.
They also launched the Pencil Pro, which is only compatible with the 2024 iPad Pro and iPad Air. And another notable detail is that upgrading the M4 iPad Pro to the 1TB model will also get you a more powerful 10-core processor versus the 9-core standard one, which is very MacBook-like. I thought it was the 512 as well. So don't quote me on that, but definitely you can get a more powerful processor by upgrading the storage. I guess, is this Apple sort of tacitly acknowledging that people that maybe they shouldn't be charging so much for just storage upgrades? So they're going to nerf the processor in their lower tier model so that you feel like you're getting more value? I'm actually not sure. Anyway, there was an ad for the new iPad Pro, and I have what I suspect is going to be a pretty unpopular take on it.
I wonder if it'll be unpopular with people here.
Here is the commercial.
We're going to watch it.
Which is still up, by the way, in spite of the fact... Actually, no, let's not watch the whole thing because I don't feel like getting, DMCA'd by Apple. But the point is, basically, there's a whole bunch of stuff. You got a piano, you got a metronome, you got a whole bunch of what looks like DJ equipment, a filming slate, whole bunch of stuff. There's some lenses and some art supplies. They crush it under a gigantic... what appears to be a hydraulic press, but I don't know, might be a prop, who knows. And then they lift it back up to reveal the new iPad Pro. Look at it go, oh my goodness, look. Okay, legitimately looks incredibly
thin. That is
thin,
very
thin. Which is pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
So this has caused a pretty big stir. I'm gonna read the notes and then I'm gonna kind of give you my take.
Sure.
The commercial features of blah, 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 blah. Okay. Apple... we'll get to that. The ad was particularly unpopular in Japan, with some people calling it disgusting and evil. A few Japanese commentators connected this revulsion to the traditional Shinto belief that tools and household belongings can come to possess their own kind of soul with the passing of time, and therefore deserve to be treated with a level of dignity and respect. Hugh Grant came out saying, hold on, let me see if I can find... quote, Apple iPad Pro. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. He called it the destruction of the human experience, courtesy of Silicon Valley. So,
just wait till he finds out about AI.
Apple seems, okay, this is from my notes, to have intended this as a metaphor for how all of the functions of these items are included with the iPad. However, others, particularly artists, saw it as a dystopian visual metaphor of an impersonal industrial machine destroying symbols of human creativity. All right. So, here comes the hot take. I'm with Apple on this one. Also, I think Apple is still with Apple on this one. They apologized for it.
And left the ad up.
Because I think the cold, hard truth is that Apple recognizes that this is a storm in a teacup and that people, generally speaking, understood what they were saying. And here's the thing. I get that art is in the eye of the beholder. And the meaning of art can be in the eye of the interpreter, right? And in many cases, there are many examples of art where the writer, be it of a song, or the painter, be it of a painting, goes out of their way to never completely explain what it meant. And that's part of the fun of it, right? Where they're basically like, no, I want you to form your own opinion. I want you to find your own meaning in this. Obviously, it had some kind of meaning to me, or maybe it didn't, who knows. Obviously, it had some kind of meaning to me, but I want to know what it means to you. So people, if you guys can, examples are escaping me. So Floatplane chat, if you want to hit me with a couple of famous examples of that would be great, just so that everyone can kind of enjoy that. But that's not what this is. Apple has come out and said what they meant by it. So for us to go, well, it meant this other thing, I think is...
What did they say specifically? Is this something you already said? Did I miss it?
Actually, you know what? No, I don't think they did say it. I think probably they thought it was obvious. Sorry, I was going based on our notes. They seem to have intended this as a metaphor for how all the functions of these items are included within the iPad. And to me, that is pretty obvious. Tarantino in that stupid briefcase, says Lucid Lucy. Okay, yes, okay, so there, that's a good example. But yeah, I would have thought that would be pretty obvious. And to me, to take what you were watching and say, oh, well, we don't care about the human artistry of anything anymore is sort of silly, because Apple's not saying, they didn't put humans in a hydraulic press. They put tools in a hydraulic press. And all they were saying was, here's another tool. Here's a tool that does so many of the things this thing does. And I think it's manufactured outrage, basically.
There's a take from someone at Floatplane Chat from a lot earlier in the show, Gurin MKD, that says, Linus, I heard your point on the iPad ad. I think you missed the point of why people are upset. It's tone deaf because the iPad doesn't replace needing a piano and hold on, let me get to the end. It's tone deaf because the iPad doesn't replace needing a piano or paint or TV or the other things. The iPad isn't able to do the tactile feel and artistic expression from having objects. The iPad is a tool that can support those tasks. Your take that people are upset because the iPad doesn't replace the artist is not the reason why people are upset. Red Bull doesn't give you wings. I don't know. Yes. It does. It's one thing that's interesting to me is, do we know? Because I've seen some people say so, but I haven't seen any official statements for it. Do we know if it was CGI or real?
I'm not sure.
Because it doesn't look real to me. At least some parts of it, like the when it squishes the face of the thing, the little toy thing. Yeah,
there were things that looked wrong to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
So I don't want to. Apparently, it's CGI with a lot of video posts.
But how do we know that? Because I've seen people say that, but I've only seen random people on in threads say that. I haven't seen any official thing saying that.
So. Okay, Avulsion says, Linus, I see your point. However, there's a strong argument that even works with an established intended meaning, where it can have meaning beyond that, which is up to the interpretation of the viewer. And that's fair enough, but getting angry about it isn't really helpful. If someone's intent was not the thing that you see in something, then we have to to acknowledge that. We have to kind of go, oh, okay, well, that immediate emotional reaction that I had was not your intention.
And I think in general, and we've said this when people really like ads and stuff too, is like, just have your general balance and happiness and whatnot a lot less connected to brands. Like when Wendy's and other various brands were running wild on Twitter there for a while, and people were emotionally invested in these brands dunking on people. It was just as cringe, because it's dude, it's just marketing. It's just brands. Just ignore it. This isn't good for you. You're losing the game.
So in general, I think this is much ado about nothing. I think their intended purpose was very clear. I think that we have far more pressing concerns, especially because the iPad has been such an artist's tool. And yeah, you're right. It doesn't replace a piano in the same way that a synth doesn't replace a piano, right? But it absolutely is an instrument of artistic expression. And to deny that would be I don't know. I think if I use words.
So is your phone. So is
anything.
A rock.
So is a garbage can lid.
Yeah.
Anything can be a tool for artistic expression. And all Apple was trying to say was that this tool for artistic expression can combine metaphorically the functions of everything you see here. They obviously recognize that a Swiss Army knife, okay, is not the world's best knife. Mm-hmm. It is not the world's best pair of tweezers, and it is not the world's best toothpick. In fact, it is not a toothpick at all, because I don't know about you guys, but for me, the toothpick gets lost immediately. Okay, immediately.
It's just garbage.
But that doesn't mean if Swiss Victorinox or whatever, the company that makes Swiss Army knives, if they made a commercial like that, where they took, a shovel and a whatever, and they compressed it all into this Swiss Army knife.
I'd love to see someone dig with this.
Dude, we wouldn't be having the same conversation.
No, probably not. I mean, there's a million other people are linking all of these in Floatplane chat right now. There's a ton of other ads that are like effectively the same thing. Like people posted this one from LG. Where's my thing? Here it is.
Someone's like, by your logic, a firearm could be used as artistic expression. Have you ever seen a firearm with a skin on it? No, seriously. I guarantee you someone has tried to draw a picture with a firearm at some point.
Yeah, and people used to do, they still do it, like stipple art on plastic and leathery ones, and they used to do wood engraving.
And look, you might not like
metal engraving. That
form of art. You might not like what they're expressing. What if what they're expressing is their Second Amendment right to bear arms and shoot guns at things? That's human expression. You don't get to just say, well, where's your violin? Like, no, literally anything can be a form of human expression. Yes, even a gun.
Trig said painting firearms is huge in the industry now. Painting firearms has been huge in the industry for
a
long time.
Do you guys remember the video of the guy playing a Christmas song firing a gun? No, I haven't actually seen that. It isn't my point though. It isn't my point.
We're not saying it's good or bad artistic expression. We're saying
it just is, and you don't get to gatekeep it. So yeah, sorry guys, I don't care. I actually fully defend Apple in this case.
Okay, so do you?
They should leave the ad up.
Do you? So you defend them leaving the ad up
100%.
And not apologizing for it?
They did apologize.
But
they left it up. I'm with them on it.
Do you think it's a good ad? If there was no controversy, nobody talked about it, because nobody talked about the bunch of other ads that are exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good ad.
I think their previous ad was better.
Which one?
Someone linked this as well, but I remember this, and I think we even talked about it on WAN Show. But this one, you remember this ad?
What is this? What's a computer?
Yeah,
this is not a better ad.
No,
I don't even know what the I'm looking at right now.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, what I can draw on it?
Yeah. I think the whole point of this ad was that she can do a lot of the things that you can do on a computer, but she can do it on an iPad. That's all it was.
I guess. It takes a really long time to get to the point.
That's fair.
That is a 68-second ad.
Yeah.
So I guess, okay, hold on. I should clarify then. I don't think it's bad. I think that it is.
You think the compression one is better?
It's struggling to hold my attention.
That's
and
fair.
So the percentage of that I would be likely to watch before clicking skip ad is much lower. Whereas I think that the hydraulic press ad is very much designed for now.
Interesting.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what the music playing was. I watched it on mute. But like basically, I'm sure there's some dramatic music. But like something exciting is going to happen.
Right.
And they do a great job of kind of cutting in for dynamic, interesting looking, colorful close-ups. You kind of can't look away from it. And that grippingness, while without being so explicit, that's the other thing. Like that iPad ad, that's something I could have storyboarded. Well, yeah, I don't know. Let's just have a little girl like do a bunch of stuff with it that it does. Like that's not. It says it explicitly, whereas the hydraulic press ad says it implicitly, which maybe was their mistake because it allows people to kind of insert their own narrative here about
you're destroying my
AI,
art.
AI destroying art and not having respect for classical instruments of creation, right? But no,
I wanted to compare the views on them because I know this iPad ad actually got 2.3 million views.
Yeah.
But I can't find what's a computer actually posted by Apple.
That's because Apple pulls down their old marketing collateral instead of just leaving it up. In fact, they sent some kind of legal notice to someone who archived all of their old advertising collateral and were basically like, you need to take this down, you need to delete it all. And it's like, sorry, what? Like
that's lame because they've
really
had some cool ads.
Advertising, you guys? You literally pay money to have people watch this, and then you're like, no, don't keep watching it. That's the old one. So to be clear, there's still plenty of things that I think Apple is so far up their own asses about that they will never see the light of day ever again.
Oh yeah.
This commercial just isn't one of them. Why don't we jump into our next topic here? You want to pick it?
People are also pointing out, this is an interesting one, Trig in Flowplane chat is pointing out that the original iPhone 1 commercials do try to make effectively the same point that they're not really because it's not musical instruments, but they're trying to show that the iPhone is replacing lots of different objects. And if you remember, a lot of the marketing around smartphones when they originally came out was you don't have to have all these things anymore, you just have a phone. This is none of these are new marketing points.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things where it just happened to land at a moment of high sensitivity around this subject. And I think because the AI stuff. I think that's actually part of why people were so upset about the recent gamer food video as well. So it was right on the heels of one or two high profile channels basically leaving YouTube or paywalling most of their content on their own sites.
Our gamer food video. Okay.
Yeah. So we've been trying to figure out what happened there. And there were definitely some issues in the way that it was messaged, in the way that it was cut.
I did end up watching it and I do agree.
Yeah, there were issues, but how mad people were, how incredibly angry they were, didn't seem to really match the sin that we had committed, and we were kind of trying to figure out why it was. And it does seem like that was a significant contribution to how upset people were because the wounds were a little raw. And I think that's probably what we're seeing right here. We're seeing open wounds in the artistic community around computers replacing human art. But that isn't what Apple was trying to say at all. Obviously.
Yeah.
The iPad has never
not even a little bit
has never been, and it could be with third-party software. You could do generative AI art stuff on it, but that's never been Apple's message. Apple has always positioned their professional tools as for creators of art, and the fact that they had it taking the place of tools for creators of art means that was the message. These tools, now this tool. And it's so thin. Those other things couldn't possibly hope to fit in this hydraulic press.
Yeah, and
but this sure does.
People in chat, Monty Hawk is saying, and copyright is going to continue to be bypassed by AI with vague and hidden BS with more scraping of data and theft. Totally. The ad had literally 0% to do with that. This is the thing that we're kind of talking about is we think, and I agree with Linus, it makes sense. We think there's a lot of rage coming from that area attacking this thing, but this thing was saying nothing about AI.
It isn't what Apple is trying to say, obviously, but it is not tone deaf to say when that open wound of AI replacing artists is ongoing. But that's the thing, right? If we know what they're trying to say, and we know that what they're trying to say is not the thing that we're upset about, then what's tone deaf about it? Is our response to them tone deaf? Is intentionally. If I know what you're trying to say, and I know that it's not the thing that's upsetting to me, I'm the one being irrational.
Yeah.
If I go, well, I'm going to be mad anyway.
Yeah.
Not them. That's not on them. Intentionally misunderstanding someone, that's fucked up. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Even for no other reason than it's just a waste of time and energy for yourself.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Why be mad?
It's just some freaking ad.
There's grass, man. Go touch it.
Go touch it.
It's okay. Maybe go touch it with a paintbrush. You know?
That's
There's water restrictions in place. If you can't water it.
If you live around here, it's
get some
really
green
nice
paint.
outside these days. Go paint outside.
Get some green paint, get it on there. Paint your lawn.
You
Took him a while to figure out what I was talking about.
Oh yeah. I thought you were just like fancily telling people to go touch grass. I didn't realize you were like, there's a drought. Go paint your grass green. Oh, sick.
It's like, wow, condescending much? Okay, Twitch chat, you lost your chat privileges, sorry.
Go paint your employee's car.
Exactly.
Oh man.
All right.
I think it's one of those things where it's getting worse because the global stress levels are so high and small perceived slights. Yeah, it's just that's what we're kind of saying. It's like you get that, but just relax.
Oh man, there's so many.
Not worth it.
There's so many like legitimately scary things to be mad about.
Oh yeah.
We should legitimately be upset about the whole like AI generative, like they took our jobs.
There's lots of
situation.
problems there. There's tons of problems there.
That Apple ad just isn't it.
Yeah.
So why invest the energy in it?
Save it.
And it's like Hugh Grant. Look,
save your strength.
No offense, but when's the last time you made a movie that I wouldn't just watch on my iPad? Boom, roasted.
Hugh Grant, what does he make?
He was actually in that Dungeons and Dragons movie that was very good.
Oh yeah.
I legitimately actually I do enjoy Hugh Grant's
very recently
films. Oh yeah. Oh no, I know. I was just no, I was just courting controversy.
Oh, this is Hugh Grant. Yeah, he's cool.
You don't know actors.
I don't know anybody.
I know. It's sad.